This road, not everyone can take it. What makes the average founder different?
Take examples from some of the most successful startups in the world. With or without resources, you will notice there's something distinct. There's a problem, we're going to solve it.
There's some days that were so horrible, bruh. I think nobody talks about the horrible days. The days that you see your future and it's dark, it's black. Like you sit down like, okay, the future is black. The emails that just came in that they don't know about. only you even, and I think you don't even know what's going on in the head of all these people too.
Yep.
Also the fear of, am I leading properly, right? What do these guys think of me now? There are meetings where it feels like Jerry raised his voice a little too much. If you mean,
Nothing felt like it was working. At that point, so sometimes when some things get really tough for us, I sort of remember back like, it used to be worse than this.
it's a very lonely journey because there's some things you can't just explain.
Can't understand.
Not because you're trying to hoard information, but how do I even explain this aspect of this journey? I was going to ask a question, a very, very serious question, which is, what do you tell yourself? What do you tell yourself?
Honestly, yeah.
All right, so let's go right into it. So I think the first time I heard about Link, I think the first thing that came to my mind was the boldness. And funny enough, you people have a way of just making your progress silently, and then so I think the question I'll ask you was, talk a little bit about how that came about, and what gave you that courage.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for having me, obviously. Not to sound too serious. But just for context to like the viewers on what Link is. First, I'm Emmanuel. I'm CEO and co-founder at Link. Link is building payments infrastructure powered by the blockchain, just to keep it very, very simple. But to answer the question, I think the courage just came from, first, it's one thing for you to see a problem and want to solve it, right? One person that has really sort of shaped my life or shaped my thinking is the person of, Pastor Chris. And, he had said something in the message. He said, be able to hear the cry of the needy, right? You're able to like see a need and say you want to solve it. So, till now, that still remains our driving factor at Link. How do we make payments very, very easy? Like, how do we sort of solve it, abstract the middlemen, sort of just make it work? But I think I've always been of the notion of being very, very different, like just really wanting to stand out, define the odds. Obviously, when I get in, I'm like, oh boy, like what have I got myself into? But like, I think we've been really blessed enough to be able, at least me personally, blessed enough to have, people around. Obviously, the thoughts of failure would pop up here and there, but they're just thoughts, right? What you do afterwards, like really would sort of like define what that is. You put definition to what I think basically would be. I
think I've been seeing you on Instagram, and for some reason, that period was really laid on my heart that we need to come out there, right? If people are doing cool stuff on this island, we need to come out there. We need to show that this stuff is working. We need to inspire more people. I'm not kind of person, right? If I want to do something, I won't really have a concrete plan. I will just jump into it. So I think Wisdom called Jenkins.
Yeah.
I thought to Jenkins. Wisdom called Jenkins.
Yeah.
And I think he contacted you, and then we met at Magusa. The first thing you said was, first of all, I get my inspiration by the Spirit of God. I was like, okay. I was like, this guy is on that frequency.
Yeah.
And then we started speaking about how we can make this happen, how we can make this work. And now I think what I began to understand there was how quick, right, you guys especially were able to just put things together and announce that, okay, Satek is coming, right? And I think that made me started realizing that this road, not everyone can take it, right? I don't know if they have startup schools. If you me, but there is just this thing about people that decide to start companies, right? If they if they say they're going to do something, they're going to go in and do it.
Yeah.
They don't think too much about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know why that is, right? Which I would like to get your take on why that is.
Yeah.
But that day, it was a circle of people that came, said what they were going to do, and boom, executed it.
Yeah.
Right? I think the next time too that struck me too was during when you guys were trying to help us, write the Stellar Grant and stuff, and I realized that, man, this is so cool. Like, bro, you can just come together, and in the space of, I think we started from 6 p.m. and I think everybody slept around like 4.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody went to bed early ourselves.
Yeah. 4, 5,
right? And we just went non-stop. Even when there were obstacles, you were like, don't worry, I'll do it. And I was like, nah, not everybody is built this way, right? Now the thing is, I would like to know why that is from your own perspective. Yeah. And secondly, there is this also that doubt that is there, right? It's still there. It's there somewhere.
Yeah.
But what makes the average founder different from, I don't want to say ordinary.
Extraordinary founder different.
Different.
Right. If you see, if you take examples from some of the most successful startups in the world, with or without resources, right? These folks, even if the team failed, what was important is they build out stuff. Mm-hmm. They were able to ship things. So that mentality for us is beyond products, right? So if I say, oh, we need to probably take a potato to Mars tomorrow, and everybody's like, the atmosphere is blurry or this and that is happening. For me, I'm not thinking about that. I don't care, right? I'm like, let's make it work. And I come from a perspective with them to show them, see, if you want to stand out in the world, there's a problem, we're going to solve it. Because I think I learned very early on, talking about problems doesn't really change anything, right? And I think for me, a lot of things have accumulated to sort of create that character, right? From secondary school to, coming to university, like I said, prosecute again. So I've always just believed that things should, if you think it,
do it.
You should do it. Right? Why not do it?
Just do it.
Exactly like Nike say, just do it. So I guess that's how all of us think. Yeah.
I think it boils down to some things, right?
Yeah.
I think it's about your degree of explosiveness. You're right. Your emergency button. Your ability to want it more than anyone else.
Yeah.
I think it's about your drive to be the best. I'm more afraid about not doing it than doing it and failing. Because I hate
Regrets.
Yes, I said even regret. I hate my brain to begin to know that this person is a kappa. like, do you get? Yeah. It's like I'll do this. Yeah, everyone knows that.
Everyone knows you won't do it.
Yeah. So
your words are nothing.
Even before people stop taking you seriously, you stop taking yourself seriously.
Yeah.
And there is this lack of authenticity that begins to creep in.
Yeah.
When you become so comfortable.
Yeah.
It's what you're afraid of.
Yeah.
Right. I think the best of us, right, not trying to horn our own, blow our horn, but I'm just saying that the people I've admired the most, right, you, Wisdom, Godwin, they have that.
Yeah.
You get, you just see that, oh, they spoke about this and they did it.
A sense of urgency.
Yes. And I don't know, is it coming from, is there a chip on your shoulder? It's very, but like,
it's not cheap. Startup life is hard already.
When I say chip on your shoulder, like, is there a story behind? I mean, people have their stories though.
Yeah.
Like, when I was growing up, people didn't believe in me, and is there a chip on your shoulder? Did you have any experiences?
Yeah, like that's a very solid question. This interview is very candid, but yeah, cool. I think so. I was a very shy child. I was very, very introverted. The secondary school I went to, right, before I came to uni, sort of shaped to an extent how I sort of taught, right? Because very early on, I started honing our skills towards leadership, right? So I was like, you know what? I was going to become a prefect, right? It started from there, and I did it. So
same.
I was like, okay. I actually tried, and I actually worked.
What prefect were you?
I was chapel prefect.
I've
been following God from the beginning. Yeah. And, after that, coming here, I came, and I think just after a year, not even after a few months, I started off stuff with my guys. I think I've always had, coming from that experience, I've always had that thing to like start up projects with my friends that end up turning into companies.
Mm-hmm.
But what that company really taught me was the power of perseverance and consistency, right? So for me, I won't say I've had the fear to fail. I think it would be more of always trying to prove to myself that I can be better than what I was. So I have this thing where I have my new version. So I'm like, right now I'm in Evarist Emmanuel 3.0. In September, I'll probably enter 5.0. Yeah. So I always want to sort of be better than who I was. And it's not just a thing of, okay, a cliche, right? I want to be able to look back and like, yo, I did that. Like, cool. But, you know, and one of the things I've done is that basically people I have sort of worked with are people that are usually, I don't want to use the word overlooked, but like you can be in a setting, right, where that guy, nobody cares, like nobody, they can literally pass him and not say a word. And those are the people I'm really interested in working with, because I feel there's a word we usually coin link, superstars. There's a superstar syndrome folks have. So if you have superstar syndrome, it's really
stuff.
Yeah.
Program wrote an essay about that.
About it, yeah.
They called it Fierce Nerds. And you said something which is true, even for me too. I think even Timmy, Suki, if you see these guys that I admire, like these guys that work with me, they're like that.
Yeah.
In a room, like you don't notice them.
You don't notice them, yeah.
But I think one of the greatest traits about leading a company is knowing how to identify those hidden gems.
Those hidden gems, yes, very important. I'm not saying superstars are bad, right? You get to a stage in your company where you need those kind of people.
Definitely.
Right? But I feel like, and this is my own take, honestly, right? Because at the end of the day, founding a company is really, you don't really go to school to do it. You learn on the journey and go.
Yeah.
But I think on a very high level, right, at the very start, you want to find people, apart from people that just believe in your vision. You want to find people that are not, for them, right? You're able to show them that, yo, this company is successful. It's always going to be attributed to you.
Definitely.
And they're not taking that attribution in the sense of, oh, I'm going to be a superstar. Taking that attribution, I'm actually adding value to life, right? So even in my journey, people that don't have, the people that are at Link right now, each and every single one of them, because most of them are my friends, right? Started off stuff together. But, you know, these are people, and that, like I said, you will be in the room similar to what you had. And I think why I'm that way is because I used to be in that kind of position, right? Exactly. So that's why today, if CEO, like I can laugh, but it doesn't faze me. I don't care. Like I don't like it doesn't faze me. I'm able to focus on the things that matter, no matter what. You can see us probably Saturday in my chai party, like 2 hours. I'm back to it, and they ask, guy, how can you be this person? And the reason why is because I know where I'm coming from, right? So that sort of taught me the power of observance, be able to observe, look, and be focused on the things that really, really matter. So so on a very, very top level, just to how we're able to sort of do that, it's just really where I'm coming from. So like for me, it's not a thing of fear, it's more of a thing of I've been at a place where nobody cared, right? And that nobody cared, for me, the motivation behind it is really, I'm not trying to prove a point to anybody. For me, is that okay, if you want people to actually care, like I tell my guys something, famous quote, work on being, not on having. Right?
Beautiful.
Because when you be, you will surely have.
Definitely.
So working on being, like, be the biggest payment company, right? You will have anything you want,
Definitely.
and those things won't face you. Right. So so that's like really my thought process.
Let's talk about a period in building Link.
Yeah.
You're still building Link, obviously. But let's talk about periods where you are at that lowest points. Would you say you've hit rock bottom in Link, building Link?
Before. Probably in 2022. We had not even started off. I think that's the only time I've ever like cried because of the company. That has happened since then. I think 2022, when we're just trying to register the business, I think in Nigeria then, and company registration that people do in 1 week or 2 weeks took 8 months. Yes.
8 months.
8 months.
Now it's kind of faster now. How many years ago was this?
This was 2022. Like, in fact, it backs.
I guess because you're not in the country.
I'm
so
not in
it's
the
going to
country.
make it worse.
I kid you not. It became a prayer point. Family members got involved.
Did you guys use a lawyer or something?
No, like,
Is it by yourself?
we have a company lawyer,
Okay.
right? We have
you
a
have
legal
them?
director. We had them, so he was always going to the office. He was new to this kind of thing, right? So many things were just not working at the time. I think we were just 2 devs, right? And one of the devs just abruptly, like, left. So it was just me. And one day it felt like nothing was going to work. So I can remember those days. Marvel was my co-founder, and just for the viewers, he knows Marvel. Marvel and Rex would come over to the house, right? Like, they are coming to the house, but they are coming for work, right? So we're in the parlor, and I'll just look at them. I was like, this one still outfits. I'll just enter the room like this, lie down. Like, they could see in my face that, like, I was discouraged because I was so excited about this idea, and it seemed like every day. So every day I have meetings. Have to tell everybody that, don't worry, our registration is going. Our registration. I know already, yeah, and that sort of answers the beginning question you asked about failure, right? For some people, that is enough reason to say, you know what,
This is not for me.
this is not for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do company registration. It's not working. It has taken 3 quarters. Literally almost 2-3 quarters.
Almost the whole year is gone already.
The whole year is gone. Like, you started the year off with, we're going to build this, and by August it's still not done. And then I can remember what happened was one day, and this is one thing I've learned. That's why I said something like, why complain about it? Why crying about it? I'm not saying don't voice out sometimes, right? But that's what now made me seek God more while building Link, right? And one of the days I was on my bed and I was just there, and then just clicked in my head. Now, at that time already, remember, we had previous businesses, at post stopped. Like, we're going to do this, we're so excited. And that was the tech wave period. Tech was a thing. So you're hearing every day, this one has fundraised, this one has launched product, and you're looking like, yo, I should be doing this right now. And one day I just, the Holy Spirit just said something to me. I was like, why are you crying? Have you ever checked how the other, like, it was a very simple advice. Have you checked how these other companies that are trying to do what you're doing, how they register, what category, how did they do their registration? Light bulbs. I was like, okay, interesting. And then one of my friends that kept on telling me, Tenado, by the way, shout out to him, is building the startup in Netherlands. One day he just says to me, I have this lawyer friend that can, like, help you, like, register. This was in, like, August, right? So, and then in 1 week, or okay, let's say 2, it was ready. The day it got ready, the one that we were waiting for since, the next day,
the other one
got ready. Something we were waiting for months. I was like, yo, so I think at my lowest, and this is me saying it very lightly, if I do candidly into all the things that happened in that period, we'll be here for a while. But, like, that was it was a very, very low moment because everything seemed like a dream. So it just felt like, okay, I sold this dream to these guys. It seems like every day you're telling them we're doing registration.
Yeah, I think that's something that maybe most founders also don't talk about.
Yeah.
When you're leading a company and you're carrying guys along, as you said, you sold them on this journey.
Yeah.
And it's something I've lived with for years.
Yeah.
Because I think my entire life has been wrapped in that fear factor. Like, I've had to learn to live with fear, get used to it, overcome it, and move all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like now I have to think if I'm really afraid of something, because it's no longer a thought. Like, I can be feeling it, I just don't know if I'm feeling it. Until maybe I think about it. And I think one of that fears is carrying people along. Saying, when we started Stranerd, I was in the US then, and I've gone through a lot of crazy things in the US. Like, in fact, I got to the US without, and not everybody knows my story, except few people, but I got to the US without much plan, because when you're used to, as when you're young, you're used to your parents deciding how many things are going to be. And so when I got there, things just went upside down. I had to start working odd jobs, menial jobs, all these things. So like, I was supposed to be a surgeon, right? I was supposed to be a surgeon. I was supposed to be Ben Cassin.
Don't worry.
I was supposed to be Ben Cassin.
This is surgery on burger.
I found myself washing cars and when we started Stranerd, and Timmy, my best friend, he's a yes kind of person. He's always ready to say, okay, let's do this. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't even know that if that's a good thing.
He's a destiny helper.
He is actually. Yeah, and
like,
the funny thing, we had a conversation recently where I said, Timmy, this Stranerd thing between this is going to 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? 2020, now 2024, right?
Yeah.
And he said, oh, Jerry, one thing I know for certain is me and you are going to build something.
Yeah.
It's going to succeed. Yeah. Right? And he was certain of that.
Yeah.
And this is it's not that Stranerd is a billion-dollar company. We're still building.
Yeah.
Right? We are still trying to see if that mainstream success is still going to happen. We've had some success.
Yeah.
But hearing him say that is something that was so refreshing, because
reassuring.
As I was saying, one thing people don't realize is how the fear that comes from I carry these people. They could have lived different lives, right? I saw them on this dream, and now we are moving. It's not coming as quickly as we expected, right? And me, when I go to bed at night, many times, is oh Lord, please help me, right? Help me, because this has to work. For this, no longer for me. No longer for me, but for the sake of these guys. Because these are talented guys. These are smart guys. These are guys that I believe, with or without the startup, they will be widely successful.
Yeah, they could have been anywhere.
They could have been anywhere. I was going to ask a question, a very, very serious question, which is, what do you tell yourself? What do you tell yourself? What do you tell yourself when you can look in the eye of your people and you know that they are doubting themselves? They might not tell you.
Yeah.
They might respond, which is something I'm sure you're used to too.
Yeah.
People responding in the manner just to respond. Yes, CEO.
Yeah. So things seem good.
Things seem good. But you know, in your heart, you know that when you spoke to them, this meeting, I know these people didn't believe in what I said.
Yeah.
What do you tell yourself on those days?
Honestly, like I think I always reference this because I'll just be really, really factual on how I really handle these things, right? There's a lot of, and I don't get me wrong, I know, people will say be human, right? But I really understand the thin line between, like, they'll say, you're spirit cocoa, and you should still be able to relate with people, which I do. But I think on a very high level, being able to understand, laying my burdens on somebody that cares, person of the Holy Spirit, honestly, in relating to people, I've done it a lot. There are days where from the camera you can tell that, like, it's not even anything about money. It's not anything of, is there money available? Because we've have money available, right? Is a thing, and that, like you said, a founder's journey can be very lonely. It can be very lonely because you're in that room and all the thoughts, fundraising, just keep the company alive, to keep products, to regulators, to this, to that, or somebody's making a silly mistake. And on some days, I go back, I'm like I do it very often. What should I do? Right? And on those, and that's what I actually say to myself, because there's nothing else I can say to myself. I can't tell myself. Remember, I said something after the period where I was a bit so low, and I heard that voice that told me do this and do that. I stopped enclosing myself in a situation where I'm having self-pity. Right? It's not a toxic trait. It's not a toxic trait. It's just a thought of I just want to make this work. Right? I can't help myself here. So on those days, in certain situations, I will literally hear, give the person a phone call. I'm like, how you doing? This kind
That
of
happens to me lots of times.
How you doing? And the person wants to talk work, I'll be like, that link go Desha. That's not what I'm talking about. And we laugh and laugh and laugh. And from conversation, some can be so honest. Sometimes I'm like, I won't tell you this as a friend and a brother. Once you hear that, okay, the person is talking, and when the person is done, you
start introspecting.
Yeah, you start introspecting.
Trying to connect the dots.
And then you hear that and you're able to be like, oh, okay, interesting. Thank you so much for like pointing this out. This gives you this sense of relief. On some days, it can be you attack. And by the way I even talk to, like, relate with the team, different bases. Same way I'll probably relate with Thomason. It's different from the way I relate with Marvel. Not because one is higher than the other, but because
everyone is different.
Everyone is different.
Yeah.
You just have to
can't handle everybody
handle them the same way. So and you call someone some days and they say some stuff, and when you hear it, this talk is a very nonsense talk. So when you're addressing them, right, there's a part of empathy which is really important. You have to understand that people are going through stuff. People say, okay, who cares about the founder too when he's going through stuff, right? But put yourself in that position when you decide to start company.
Of course,
right?
nobody cares.
Who cares?
It's just something about self-pity.
Yeah.
And I've learned along my journey that you shouldn't ever pity yourself. You should never.
Never.
It shouldn't.
Yeah. It's a trap.
Aside even being a trap, it also defeats the mentality of you trying to start a company in the first place.
Yeah.
When you pity yourself, what exactly does that mean? Like, what are you saying?
What are you saying to
yourself? They didn't know it was this.
Yeah, I would have tried it.
You can't do that.
That's it.
And then I was about the Holy Spirit. We being Christians, strong believers. Many of my life-changing or altering decisions came from a confidence of what I heard God told me. Yeah. Right. Here in Ghana, when I tell somebody, I lived in the US for this number of years, why did you leave? Sometimes I can't answer that question. I answer on the level of the maturity of the person in front of me. Right? The average person might not be able to understand, but when it comes to like you, like people that I see them, their maturity in the spiritual things. I said I was led by the Holy Spirit to leave, and I remember when I told my mom, I remember there's something that was happening to me when I was in America. I was working a good job at that period after going through a hell of struggles. I finally found a very good job, and I'll come back home and I would tell my mom, because we had this session where I'll sit on the ground, she'd be on the bed, and then when I come out from work, I just sit down and we just talk, and she'll open a Bible and begin to. So thank God, shout out to my mom. Thank God for coming from that kind of background, right?
Yeah,
and
very important.
We'll have these deep conversations, and I'll tell her, I feel this consistent heat on my chest. Mommy, I don't know what it is, right? I should say, maybe God is trying to say something. What are you feeling exactly? I couldn't articulate it, but I just felt it was a deep sense of dissatisfaction. But I didn't. According to how young I wasn't doing so bad. I had a job. I was working as a salesman, right? And I think I just got promoted at that point. And it wasn't bad at all. But there was this deep sense of dissatisfaction that kept following me everywhere. And I remember I had an encounter in that dream that the interpretation, immediately I woke up, it came straight into my mind. Right? I saw myself leaving into a bus, and that bus was waiting for a while. And people in the dream, people were rushing to enter that bus. And I kept fetching my water, looking at the bus as I was about to leave. And eventually I entered and I left. And I woke up and I said, I went to my mom and said, I have to leave. I don't think my destiny is here. Crazy stuff coming from the same person that when you asked me when I was in JSS3, JSS1, it was a thing then, where are you going to go to university? Oh, Unilag. This, I will say, I'm going to America. I'm not schooling in this country.
Not doing that with you guys.
And it happened eventually. It was my dream. Now, when I left, the few days before I left, I remember I would wake up every night and I'll cry myself to sleep. Because I knew I was going to do something that was crazy. Not just to me, but to everyone that would eventually know the story. It made no ounce of sense. I could not comprehend it with my human capabilities. And when I think about it, I don't even know what gave me that kind of courage. But there's something that inspired me. My mom paid for the tickets back. She just called me and said, check your email. I think the ticket's almost $2,000. Said, Jerry, go. If you really believe this is what God is telling you, go. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think you find any parents in Nigeria that would do that. I remember my guy. Guy I love so much. We don't talk as much, but and yeah, but he told me something. He said, Jerry, you're going to regret this. And he didn't say it from a mocking place. He said it from a deep sense of care for his friend. He said, he spoke in pidgin. Can you do this thing? No do am.
Yeah.
I swear you're going to regret this thing. Can you do am? Your life is good, yes. Like everything you have planned is working. What's wrong with you? And we were crying. My guys already were crying, and I just had to. I just said, I'll just keep working and not look back until I can't see them anymore. And that's what I did. And now when I see Greep, when I see all these guys in the company, it begins to make a lot of sense to me, right? That first off, it debunked the notion that there is a particular place where success is determined. Or there's a particular level of steps you take.
Yeah.
Where I really genuinely believe that success will never ever lie in location. Yeah. Your success will always lie, as you said, in the person you are becoming.
Yeah.
Value. Something the Bible said, like a light that is put under the bed cannot be hidden. What that means is it will be a disservice to the God that you are serving. That just because you went here or didn't go here, then I was talking to a friend recently, and I realized that we haven't spoken for like 2 months. Right? She's such an amazing, brilliant, beautiful woman. Like bro, she inspires me. She doesn't know. She inspires me steady.
Yeah.
But when I called her, she felt very down and she told me something. She said, Jerry, I don't know. I've been praying a lot for the will of God. I don't know. I was speaking to my pastor's wife and I was asking her, like, I want to know God's will. This is someone that got a fellowship program to do a PhD degree in Texas, right? So, I mean, in the eye of everybody, bro, that girl is on fire.
Yeah.
But she still was going through this. She has her own startup too, her ethics startup too. And he said, I don't know. Am I in God's will? For some reason, that made you I was so provoked.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you think God's will is that fragile? That the decision you just make, you just alter God's will.
You just change everything.
Like, bro, because I decided to study this or not study this. He's the same God that loves you.
Yeah.
He said all things work together
for your good.
For your good. What does that mean? To people that are living every day with the fear on their journey, is God's plan for you, most likely, in the grand scheme of things, has nothing to do with what you think you will do or not do.
Yeah.
Right. Now, there's a lot of ways you can talk about this. But if you take a look at Jacob in the Bible, this dude was running from his brother, stumbled into having to leave his uncle, fell in love with one of his daughter, 14 years passed. I'm thinking, okay, the question is, in all this while, was Jacob in the will of God? Yes or no? And he stole his brother's birthright.
He's God. If he has to be conformed to the circumstances,
I want to know at what point did he do it that he entered God's will? Because at the end of the day, he was in God's will.
Yeah, eventually.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So I think that journey, let me realize that to combat fear is to just have a preconceived notion of what the truth is.
True.
And I think that's what makes the Bible so powerful.
Yeah.
We know this is the truth. No matter what, regardless. This is the truth. So whether it's my mind playing tricks on me or in my circumstances looking like, if I open that book, what it says is true is what is true.
Yeah.
And that is it.
It's ultimate.
And so for me, that's how I started living.
Yeah.
I can feel the fear, but it's going to just be a feeling.
Yeah.
You've seen something before. It's just going to be a feeling.
It's just a feeling.
If you feel fright, it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
Doubt is just a feeling.
Yeah.
What will make you survive that is what weapon are you holding?
What are you doing after?
The weapon is basically what truth do you know?
Yeah.
It's a knowledge thing.
Yeah.
If you know what the truth is,
Yeah.
those things matter less.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those things matter less. Now, another question I want to ask you because I'm asking you questions of fear I felt.
Yeah.
Do you feel that there is a founder in your company, a co-founder of yours, that every day you wake up thinking, what if this person leaves?
Every founder has that founder.
It's
an unspoken truth. It's an unspoken truth. Everybody has that founder.
Like if they're looking at this guy, this guy can't really.
He has so much value. Like, why can't he just stand up and go? But I think.
You want to mention any more person?
No, I won't. Well, obviously, I would say no, but I'll still say yes because obviously, you see, this person can be anyway. But that now says a lot to me, right? In two ways. That this person is here, regardless of these thoughts I have. Sometimes I won't take thoughts and which people hold you back. Like, why are you thinking such a thing? Right? And the person is here. It sends a message to me that, first, apart from grace and everything, like this person believes in this so much. Right? I do a lot of shit testing sometimes. So shit testing is basically not that I'm using reverse psychology, but I just want to get where your head is at.
Isn't that coming from a place of fear?
No,
reverse psychology.
It happens.
Okay.
Exactly. But I've not done that in a while. Like probably maybe 1.5 years ago. But just to sort of get where a person's mind is, and when you're done talking, you're like, interesting, right? So one of the things we've done importantly is, I ask questions to the only person I'm able to lay these burdens to. Yeah. I lead those guys to that same person. Because if that same person is one, the Spirit of God is one, if those thoughts arise, right, he will be there. Right? If you're meant to be here in his grand scheme of things, because he has a plan for you. So one of the things I show my guys is that, okay, apart from Link, apart from me, God has a plan for you specifically. Yeah. And if this is it, it is. And then the second part is why I stopped having that fear about those kind of things is on Link's journey, I noticed a pattern. And this pattern was not even on the team side. Let's say, for example, in terms of maybe we have maybe connection to somebody and they were so excited. We're like, we got this contact. Person probably helps us a month, 2 months. And then when we really need the person, like maybe on the high school, ghosts. And then we go back and we're like, Lord, our trust in you is in you. And then another person appears. So one day I was like, what? And then maybe that person comes back and I just have this network of people that I can always like reach out to anytime and they help. But when I maybe really, really need at a high level, I'm sort of there, and God told me, I want you to focus on the source, where it's coming from. So in as much as I appreciate these people, I'm like, I'm going to treat them like this top level, like disciple level kind of, reverence for these guys because of they've stayed. At the same time, I look at one person, because the moment you do that, you become like Job. The thing that he feared the most happens to you. Yeah. So I refuse to put myself in that kind of corner, right? Where, if you don't get me wrong, I appreciate. They will tell you, I'm like high level. In fact, it's me that will tell my guys, because these guys are so invested in doing stuff that they forget that they are meant to. I don't like this is the difference between them and superstars. I have to remind you, you're a co-founder, or you're meant to have this. They're like, I don't care. Let me just be doing my thing at the back. Those kind of people are priceless. These are leaders, priceless. But at the same time, looking at that source, because I've seen a pattern happening, like even in terms of maybe investors, maybe there's an investor that come, okay, I'll give you guys 5 million, come by whole round. I'm excited. And we're fully person. Everything. 5 months has gone. God is looking at you like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So either the bad news or, that's one thing about a founder, right? Just to quote something Elon Musk said, running a startup as a founder is being able to, I might paraphrase here, say looking straight into the abyss and chewing glass. Glass, not grass, glass. And you keep chewing the glass until a point comes where you stop chewing glass and all you're doing is steering. When first I heard it, it sounded stupid, but it now makes sense to me. Basically, nothing, it's not phasing me, good or bad. Does not mean I don't appreciate God. Yep. So it's like, oh, it happens. Eyes on the ball. We need to continue, right? So in that kind of context, right, I don't have that kind of fear. Again, I don't. Like, this is me being factual, because the same way the team was assembled without me planning, the way each and every one of them assembled, it took God, literally, it took God nothing, but for me, it took 7 years or 8 years of relationship, just doing them in different ways
to assemble
together. We never, like Rex, for example, right? There was a time Rex was meant to be in Fincat, but it just doesn't work, so it wasn't in Fincat. Now, knowing Rex from outside, as at 2017, 2018, I might look at it, I can't work this kind of person. God, his persona. But it's one of the best people I've ever met.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Like, the link story cannot be told without Rex. Yeah. You understand? You go to Thomason. I used to this random guy. Like, I was like, well, which one concerned with this company? Like, when the person that suggested Tom Lesh, when the person suggested, I literally placed a bet. I said, if this guy can't do this company, I'll give $500. He's a co-founder today. Yeah. He was not in the grand scheme of things. Marvel, on the other side, one random guy at sale meeting. So I was like, co-founder. So you just have, to you, that's why I don't play relationships. No matter how small, I don't look down on anybody. It shock me where
possible.
Do you get where it's possible? So if God can do it I say something anytime God, it's like, Holy Spirit, you have a sense of humor. If you can do that in that kind of way over a span of 8 years, 9 years, some of the people have left Cyprus. You were with me. You could. If you talk to Tom Lesh, you feel like you're talking to Ima, but in a different perspective. Talk to the same thing. That's success. So if God could do that, why should I now fear if this person if he did that, why are you concerned about the supply? It's obviously concerned about the source. The sources. So that's why I at a point that was a fear. So I found that at every point that thing will come. It's going to test your faith, because it's the opposite of fear. So the thing is, deal with it. Yeah.
A lot of founders have different ways. I don't know how them Elon Musk Brigade to do it, but for us, as you've stressed, just to now, I'm thinking for people that will watch it, what's their take would be is, first of all, we are founders, right? First of all, we are men of God. And then we are founders. I was saying, no, but get what I mean. We're using our
personal experiences.
Yeah, and also our startups are, as we said, are vehicles for people to know.
Yeah,
and I can see why we need to also focus on the work God is trying to do in us, as we're talking about, right? But I was going to stress how we do it is by the person of the Holy Spirit. And for those who might not know, the Holy Spirit is the Spirit of God, right? That lives inside of us, and he's that. I call him is that super intelligent being. Like, sometimes I knew he speaks because there's some things that he would tell me, I can't think of this. This is too smart.
This is too smart.
I can't think of this. Yeah. But to shed light on what you were saying, these fears that happen, if you give them space, they creep in. And they begin to change you. Yeah. Right? Fear has a way of changing people.
Yeah.
Right? I won't even say changing, but it has a way of revealing the darkest part of people.
Yeah.
Like, you find yourself thinking some thoughts, doing some things you're not supposed to do. But this is where the Holy Spirit helps you, right? Yeah. The Bible says he's your helper, counselor, right? His job is to remind you of those truths. His job is to let you have a better perspective of this journey, right? And as you said, you are not just now a leader that is trying to lead a successful company, but you now know that, there's also work that he's doing even in these people I'm leading.
Yes.
And from time to time, you are a co-founder by day.
Yeah.
But by night, you see yourself teaching. Right? And I know you do that many times, because when I speak to you, I know you have conversations with your guys. And it's more than just, do you hit Q1?
Down to your attitude.
It's down to everything, right? this company will succeed more than just having your talent.
Yes.
You need to be a better person. You need
Talent's
to
not
grow.
enough. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think if I've lasted this long on such a difficult glass chewing
Exercise.
staring into the abyss exercise, I think if we have come this far is because we don't just have the Spirit of God living in us, but we also have prioritized it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Our life is a function of giving it a priority.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing.
And just in that priority, I just remember something. In that lowest moment, and my guys will know this, I say this, he also said, make me the CEO. I'm like, okay.
Damn.
Make me the CEO. The CEO is meant to come. If you check your job description, you're meant to motivate the team. You're meant to. There's some days where they do something and I'm like, man, I'm very irritated. Like, I just want to say my mind. Right? Like this shouldn't have been done in this way. And something I'm even working on personally recently, I noticed it's happened. I think I was watching this excerpt where Pastor Chris said something like, nothing should be big enough to get you angry or steal your joy.
Yeah, to steal your joy. Yeah.
Because he said, there's a scripture I quoted, there's where he said it, but it was like, because does it annoy your father? But everybody teaches you this person. I'm like, no, now this is corporate. Like, something is just meant to be done. Mm-hmm. Right. And he was like, apply it. So I tried it. So something doesn't work. I'm like, okay. Doesn't mean I don't care. Doesn't mean I won't find a solution. But it was not, I won't flare up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Also, I also say, also because I'm not going to react. Yeah. Because I need to go and talk to the CEO.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I
need to know what the CEO thinks.
I need to know what he thinks. So in that case, there were two things that were happening. That and then was the test. I was like, okay, I'll not flare up. And then instantly I'm like do this, do that. And I was just like, oh, let's do this. And everything's totally fixed. At first, it might not seem like anything works. A lot of these companies might not tell you, them, they say people are not non-Christians will tell you meditation. There's this other word they use. What's that word? I'm trying to remember. When you're manifesting. That's how I'm manifesting it. Remember when I was at the conference, I was talking to people saying, Emmanuel, because they said something. So I was like, yeah, you should manifest that. I said, let me speak their language to them back. And they were like, yes, that's how we get a lot of things done. We manifest it. And I was like, interesting. So just shows you that everything about man is rooted back to God. It's just that
definitely
they don't have knowledge.
I mean, you can write, they can see it as you want, but there is something deeper
than that,
happening behind the scene. That even when I read or watch documentaries of all these guys, they have a very deep sense of spirituality.
They do.
They all have how they make their decisions. They all have.
They call it luck.
Yeah, they all have what they believe in.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of fear, let's go a bit to disappointments. Because this is steady. I think it's a steady thing. Yeah. Right. And it's a steady thing because one of the things about being a founder or building a startup is that you are consistently pushing against impossibilities. Yeah. Right. And what that means is that disappointment is something you're going to have to get used to. Not discouraged, but used to. Yeah. Right. The amount of time my friendships with my co-founders has been threatened. Just because we're building. So I had a very, very, very close friend of mine. I won't say we are as close as we used to be, but our fallout is because of building. When somebody's so used to you as a friend, and now you're the CEO of this company, trying to decipher
the
difference between your friendship with leading a company, right? And no matter how much they think they understand the difference, the reality is not really.
They don't.
Right? And then things happen. You can't even stop them from taking it back to, how can you do that to me? How can you say that to me? How can you what?
Superstar.
You feel me? And
Superstar syndrome.
The thing is, we don't also talk enough about how you fall out to people that you genuinely love.
Yeah.
he genuinely wants, even still care about.
Yeah.
But this journey is so difficult and so demanding that it tests your relationship with this person so deeply that eventually the result of that testing is the bond is not as strong as you thought it was.
Yeah.
How do you? I think I'm going through something like that. Lots of times.
Yeah. Last year was the year for that, man. Like, at the end of the year, I was like, how did I lose so many relationships? Like,
that thing can be depressing.
Yeah, like a lot. Like, it happened.
You'll be like, "Is something wrong with me?"
Like in the first half of the year, like from the 1st of January. Some I
you tried to amend.
Some I amended.
Okay.
Some it was like, this is meant to happen. Leave it. Some he said free it, and I said no, let me try, and then it came back worse. And said, the journey actually changes you. I think for me, it made me grow. I mean, my guys call me old man, but like it made me grow. It made me grow more. I guess it's just crazy, right? You think to yourself like, this shouldn't have caused the fallout, but there's something I understood, right? I tell my guys something like, rich people, when you see them, have you ever been in a situation where you're like, okay, for example, and that's why I think with my decision making sort of helped me. If two folks are having issues, I don't, like, if you say it to me, I'll be like, okay, cool, Jerry, but I want to hear from the other person. Sort of taught me that, right? So as a founder, like, obviously as you go, because you have seen, it's so painful when you've seen somebody in a certain kind of light. The person was moving at a speed the person might not have even known. You're like, yo, this person, like, God, this person was going to this start, was going to walk, right? It's going to walk. And then, life gets to them. The tiniest words. And it might not come from you, honestly. And, they just go from 100 to 0. And you watch their lives from outside. And maybe something is referenced back to them sometimes. And you're so hot, you're like, man, so much potential. You can't do anything at that point in time, right? But what that taught me too is that, we're on the personal journey. Life is very, very personal. In as much as you have to deal with people. Yeah. Life is a very personal journey.
Yeah.
Another person's mishap with you is a lesson for you to learn. God's like, this is how you operate. So the way I am, my normal attitude is that wherever I see, I'm just like, let me help. Like, let's do this thing. But it has not taught me why very wealthy people, successful people, you start wondering, why can't they help this person? Why can't they do this? And now I'm not even talking about secular, but in Christendom, you're
Definitely.
like, it's all this wealth,
all this money,
all this money, why can't they? And being in this position has taught me why, at least to a level, to an extent.
Yeah.
That is not how the world is just built.
It's not.
It's not meant built. Because you do these things. Yeah, sure.
Speaking of that, it's very interesting because I grew up also having that mentality of, if you get have all this money, why is not? First of all, you don't know what he's doing. That's the first one. Just because you're not hearing about it, you don't know what he's doing. But secondly, I'm very certain. Someone like Bill Gates or Elon Musk, being as ambitious as they are, they've also tried to help people.
Yes.
And do you know why I know? Because being a founder, sometimes you're tempted to play God. And I think for me, I had to unlearn that. Because I think one of my friends told me one day, Jerry, you have Messiah complex. Meaning that you always see everybody, you want to save everybody. You want to help everybody. And sometimes God is even angry at you for helping that person. Because you played God, you disrupted his plan for them. Right? In as much as you thought you were trying to do them a favor, what if you went against God's plan for them?
True.
Right? So sometimes, like me, there's this particular person that was in Stranerd that even today, I still feel that this person left because I absolutely care and love this person so much. But things went the other way. Right? But my lesson was, at first you will feel a little bit angry. And then it will go to, even after all this, we've been together. But then what the Spirit of God helped me understand was, as you said, it's a personal thing.
Personal thing, yeah.
And when things go wrong, try your best to understand that it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
You don't know God's work with this person.
Yeah.
You don't know God's work in you also.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. It's a sad story.
Yeah.
But guess what? Maybe, just maybe, the both of you left the story being better.
Yes.
This is not to say that people can be very vindictive. Right? I always say this: when you meet a founder, understand that they are one of the greatest people in my environment.
Everything's fighting against them.
Everything. They are fighting against themselves too.
Yeah.
Because there are many times you are going back in and saying, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have done this. Right? And everybody is there having opinions about what they should have done, what they should have said, how they should have done it.
Yeah.
Which is why I respect founders when I see them, no matter how they come.
Yeah.
Really. In fact, the ones that are perceived to be the worst of them end up being the best of them.
Yeah.
Because the things we enjoy the most came from those kind of people.
Do
you get what I'm saying?
I feel stress, but it's there for your own good. Like, I think Chris, for example, because I've known Chris since Chris leads product at Link. I've known Chris since 2015. It was literally my first friend in Cyprus, right? So I've known him.
I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah.
I will put my bet on Marvel.
Oh, Marvel, no. I knew Marvel, but passively. Like,
really?
Yeah. Marvel,
I mean, for me, Timmy, CEO.
So you're like,
it shows a closeness. I feel like the CEO, and the CEO always have this very deep.
We lived together, obviously, throughout the pandemic. What died?
I'm just curious though.
Yeah.
When you were starting Link, I'm saying I don't want to put you in a position now that would go hold you. But I'm thinking Chris is probably your closest person. To date, is he still your closest? Or he was your closest?
All of them are my close people.
But as at then. So as at then, was he your closest?
As at 2015.
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, he was, because we're in very close proximity. At some point he left Magus and left Kusha. So I didn't see him for like almost a year and a half. Yeah.
He didn't even come over to visit?
Because pandemic has started now. So like from 19 to 20, probably 21.
And then that's around the time Link kind of kicked off.
Yeah, around that time. We're just talking about it. Then 22 we started. Then he came and he's like, oh, you guys are the Link.
When did he come?
He joined Link in 2022.
But by then, was he already a designer?
Yeah, he was a junior graphic designer. Like he
learned in Link.
So most of it, everybody in Link. Learned at Link.
And that's one beautiful thing about startups is that
those guys are superstars in what they do right now.
Yes, and the thing is, in startups, many people just harness gifts they didn't believe they had in the first place. Crazy stuff.
The process is not nice. I'll tell you, doesn't feel fun. But like, for example, someone like Rex. Right now, Rex is like, if literally was going to any startup or anything, like he's top shot, big deal. When Rex joined Link, I was the one that showed him Figma. I was like, oh, this is Figma, this is how they use it. Like, the guy came back, before he knew it, he built full product screen in like 1 week. I was looking at it, I was like, how? Right. So I guess startups like you said bring out the best in people, especially people that are not superstars. Let's be very particular. Like, the superstars, being a superstar is not a bad thing, but like people that are like, you know what, for myself, I'm going to do it. And that's just the beauty of value. You do things that you didn't think you could basically do. But but
I think for Suki's coming, when I go back to Nigeria, at the beginning of it, I was trying to build a team. We've been having issues with designing, product designing, because I think this is graphics guy that kind of was trying to do UI UX. As at then, now when I look at the design, I'm like, this is horrible. But at then, to us, it was cool. But then he kept, I think things just kept charging us and he kept misbehaving. And I remember looking at Suki, I'm like, guy, I know you're into graphic design and stuff. Like, bro, help us do this. He was not part of Stranerd at that point. He just was hanging around us. And he's like, he said, like, if I put my mind to this thing, I can do it.
I can do it.
He's always been that guy.
He was a graphic designer.
And then he built
The product.
from then on to now. He has probably built all of Stranerd
versions.
versions.
And that is very similar. When I spoke to Rex about Link, I told him, you will just be a graphic designer. So till today, he references it and laughs. So they told me I will just be a designer. And the guy went from, because graphic designer and product designer are two different things.
Yeah,
Very
definitely.
And then went from that to be, right now he leads product and product strategy. So it's a bigger role, right? So it's not just product, it's thinking about how is it going to market.
Yeah, definitely.
Who are the ones?
That's beautiful.
Do you get the guy is very insightful. So it's an asset, right? If you're looking for where to harness your skills, look for a startup that is ambitious enough to want to take the world. Join them. And that find your place.
Yeah. I remember in the areas of Stranerd, we gave many people their first ever jobs. Right? Many days. And I'm happy that some of them are still, majority of them are people are still, if I send them a message, they're happy to help, to respond. But when you have those company meetings where you end it with that speech to keep everybody motivated and like, you're coming, we're almost there. Look at the evidences that shows that we're not playing.
Yeah.
But then you go to bed and like, man, only you know how much is the bank account.
Yeah.
Right? Only you know the emails that just came in that they don't know about. only you even, and I think you don't even know what's going on in the heads of all these people too.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And also the fear of, am I leading properly?
Yeah.
Right? What do these guys think of me? Because I feel like in my own experience, I don't think I was given enough credit for when things went bad in such a way that I even go emotional. There are meetings where it feels like Jerry raises his voice a little too much. You feel me? There are meetings where it feels like it doesn't even know that we are putting in all our time.
Yeah.
But it's a very lonely journey.
Yeah.
Because there's some things you can't just explain. You can't share.
You can't understand.
Not because you're trying to hoard information, but how do I even explain this aspect of this journey? Right? And it's something I realized I had to live it.
Yeah.
I had to get used. I will carry it on my head. Until I started realizing that it's a journey. You must be willing to commit 10 years. You must be.
Yeah.
You'll be fooling yourself if you think. And another thing too is when you hear the story of all these companies that started 2 years ago and 2 years later they've raised all this amount of money.
Yeah.
Right. It can start tricking founders to think that that's how yours is going to be.
Okay, yeah.
Right. But I think some Osman said something that I said you must be prepared to give it 10 years.
Yeah.
The journey must be able to reveal how authentic of a founder you are.
You are.
If you really believed in what you were solving.
True.
If the relationship you claim to have with these founders are legit, are true.
Yes.
Right? Because the best of us will stay. The best of them will stay.
We stay. Yeah.
Right? I remember my early days, there are many people that were like, Jerry, I believe in Stranerd. I can't never leave this company. And you're not yet.
Yeah.
and whether it came from my imperfection as a leader or their imperfection as a member of the team, the truth I realized is that the best of them will stay. The ones that really believe will stay. And the fear will not go away.
Yeah.
You will doubt yourself. You will feel there's some days that will be so horrible, bruh. I think nobody talks about the horrible days. The days that you see your future and it's dark, it's black. Like you sit down like, okay, the future is black. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going to have to live with that. All right, so I'll come to the end of this. Let me ask you a question. Give an advice based on what was shared.
Yeah.
Fear, disappointment, building. Simple sentence advice.
That is hard though.
Okay, just let them not box you.
I think I would tell anybody building, right? Believe in yourself, believe in your abilities. You're not believing in them because you sabi die, but believe in yourself because of the extraordinariness of the one who created you.
Beautiful.
You want to do something, I always, like, I've not seen any successful person. If you check, it should be, okay, at least let's use the world's way of determining success, right? On the Forbes list. I've not seen a single company that's ever been built by someone that is a sole entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there are no successful sole entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They are.
Then takes more than you.
Yeah. It's bigger than you. Work with people. Change.
Definitely.
Work
Yeah.
to like, okay, we're building this thing, but my plan in building this is to ensure that I replicate success in multiple ways. Success is replication of yourself in multiple personalities.
Beautiful.
Right. So I guess do that. Do hard things.
hard things.
Yeah. Do hard things.
And don't be evil.
And don't be evil. Don't let it change you. Leave as
So for
much
me, I would
as-
say, do it afraid. Right?
Yeah.
I would say, you don't have to do it alone, as you said.
Yeah.
Go with the people you trust the most.
I get
Right?
it.
Go with the people that can catch you.
Yeah.
Right? More than when you fall, but also when you, on days you don't feel like yourself.
Yeah.
Go with people that will
Your
remind
friends.
you. Yeah.
Build real relationships, genuine ones. Yeah.
Also, I would say,
Yeah.
personally, there are no losses in the journey.
Yeah.
Only gains.
Gains, lessons.
There are no losses at all.
That's all, yeah.
I believe every founder can make it anywhere.
Exactly.
Right? Thank you so much, Everest.
Thank you so much
My
for
friend,
having
my
me.
brother.
My guy. Thanks so much for having me.